All right, let's dive into the story of Jharkhand. We're going to explore it through the eyes of two sisters, Anshika and Aisha, who are about to uncover the secrets hidden right under their feet in the stones and soil of their home. And their entire journey, our entire journey, kicks off with one simple question.
Sister, what's so special about these stones and soil? It all starts right here with this curious question from young Aisha. What is so special about them? That question is going to be our compass as we explore a state that's just brimming with nature, culture, and incredible resources.
So where do we even begin? Well, to really get Jharkhand, we have to start with its name. Because its fundamental identity, who it is, well, it all starts with the land itself. You know, the name Jharkhand literally tells you its story. It comes from two Sanskrit words, Jar, which means forest, and Khand, which means land. You put them together and what do you get? The land of forests. Its identity is written right into its name.
And hey, here's a super easy way to lock that in. Just remember this. Jar equals forest. Anytime you hear jar, just picture a big, beautiful green forest. Simple as that.
Now for some quick stats, the capital is Ranchi, and an easy way to remember it is to think of its famous hills and waterfalls. The state also has 24 districts, and a great way to recall that is to think 24 forest hours. For the 24 hours in a day, you could be exploring this amazing land.
Now, Jharkhand is actually a pretty young state. It was carved out from the southern part of Bihar and officially came into being on November 15th, 2000. So it's a state that was literally born in the new millennium.
And the memory trick for that, it's really straightforward. The year 2000, it feels like a fresh start, a new era, right? Well, for India, it marked the birth of a brand new forest state. So think 2000, think new forest state.
Okay, so we've got the land down. Now let's shift gears and look at how it's governed and the people who call this place home.
So, on the national stage, Jharkhand has a pretty significant voice. It sends 14 representatives to the Lok Sabha. That's the lower house of parliament, where big national laws get debated. And it sends another 6 members to the Rajya Sabha, the upper house that represents the states.
How do you remember those numbers? Just make it a little chant in your head. 14 Lok, 6 Raja. It's a simple phrase that just locks those numbers in. Say it again. 14 Lok, 6 Raja.
And if we zoom in to the state level, the government there is made up of 81 members of the Legislative Assembly, or MLAs. These are the folks responsible for running the state's day-to-day affairs.
Speaking of leadership, the state's journey started with its very first chief minister, Babalal Marandi. And that leadership story continues today with its current CM, Hemant Soren. So that gives you a nice little snapshot of his political history.
All right, enough about politics. Let's get to the fun stuff, the real soul of the state. We're talking about its vibrant, deep-rooted culture, the languages, the music, the dances, and of course, the food.
Now, while Hindi is the official language, Jharkhand is a true linguistic melting pot. It's home to these incredibly important tribal languages like Santali, Mundari, and Ho. And these aren't just small dialects, they're spoken by millions and are absolutely central to the state's identity. Aisha's sense of wonder just captures it perfectly. The number of tribal languages here is truly astounding. And hey, that gives us another great memory trick. When you think of Jharkhand, just think tribal tongues. It really is a land where ancient voices are still spoken every day. You don't just hear the soul of Jharkhand, you can see it and feel it in its dances. Two of the most famous are the Chow dance, which is this really powerful martial arts-inspired form, and the Santal dance, a super joyous celebration of community. Both are driven by what you can only call tribal beats. That rhythm is unmistakably Jharkhand. And we have to talk about the food. Sure, rice is a staple, but the real adventure is in the local specialties. You've got things like duska, which is this delicious fried snack made from rice and lentils, and rugda, a really unique mushroom that only grows in the forest there. This is what you'd call true forest food. It comes right from the land. Okay, so we've seen the forests, the government, and the culture. But now, we're getting to the very heart of Jharkhand's identity, the thing that makes it so unbelievably crucial to the entire country. So what is it that makes Jharkhand so unique? It's really this incredible mix of 4 key things. First, its mineral wealth is just off the charts. We're talking massive reserves of coal and iron. Second, it's blessed with just stunning natural beauty, like the famous Dawsam and Hundru waterfalls. Third, that deep, vibrant tribal culture we've been talking about. And finally, it has this amazing knack for producing world-class athletes, especially in cricket and hockey.
Look, if you only take one thing away from this whole explainer, let it be this. Jharkhand is India's mineral heart. It's the engine room. It pumps the essential resources that power the nation's industries, its growth, its development. That's its golden line. And to tie it all together, we've got the super memory formula. It's so simple, we just use the name of the state itself. You ready? J is for jungle, H is for hills, A is for Adivasi culture, R is for resources, and the rest of the name spells out its spirit. Kel for sports, heritage, art, nature, and development. See, the whole story is right there in the name.
Which brings us right back to our two sisters and the final lesson from Anshika. After discovering everything about their homeland, the moral of the story is crystal clear. We have to respect nature and our resources. And you know what? That's not just a lesson about Jharkhand. It's a piece of wisdom for every single one of us. And that really leaves us with a final question to chew on. Jharkhand's story teaches this powerful lesson about balancing nature and progress. So it makes you think, doesn't it? How can we do a better job of honoring the nature and resources right where we live, in our own communities?